Solo Leveling Season 2, Episode 6. Don't look down on my guys. Don't look down on this anime now, because it's just broke the internet. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, right here back with variants cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, Solo Leveling, and I gotta say, this was the episode of episodes we've all been waiting for. But before I end up geeking out too much about this episode, let's throw it to the man who will actually be reasonable throughout the episode. My man Will. Talk to the folks.
All right. This episode was fantastic because it showcased a lot of different things. Again, you get to really feel the evolution of characters, Jin-Woo in particular, and kind of what he's been dealing with, kind of go on throughout his whole journey. And we kind of see the culmination of that effort that he's been putting in with his powers and abilities, and him actually facing off against somebody who is not necessarily a slouch in terms of the world and the other hunters that have to face, but still not on Jinwoo's level, and that's how far he's come. So with that being said, this episode top tier, best episode of the season thus far. All the other episodes that come closest with that were they're in episodes, like 1 and 2 in that area, just for the pure setup and how it kind of transitioned into this season. But yeah, if you have not been watching this, yeah, you should be watching this show. If you got people that are on the fence, tell them to watch this show. This is good. This anime is top tier. Let's just kind of get straight into it. We know that the team was on the verge of meeting the big, high orc,
Kargalgan.
and they were summoned to deal with him. And he straight up said when they got there, like, "Yo, we are going to devour you each one by one and call it a day." Like there is no hesitation. And even with that, Ki-hoon had no qualms. That man is straight up about that life. He saw an opening. He knew what was going down. He immediately stepped in and attacked, regardless of what was going on and how things are going down. He went in and said, "We gonna scrap and kick this thing off." Didn't work out too well for him, freaking thanks to several songs that were being sung, Song of Guardian, the anti-gravity, the acceleration. So we know that now this guy Karang is a spellcaster and he is doing damage. What did you think about the abilities that he first kind of started dropping out?
It felt like he was someone who had infinite mana on the Skyrim days and was just doing straight hacks where he was just shouting, throwing people, paralyzing them, ragdolling people. He was just doing what he wanted when he wanted, and the level in which his mana or magic power is manifesting and showing itself on screen is insane because everyone was just like, even the spellcaster was like, "This guy makes me look like I'm a C rank. Like I have no business being here amongst him." And everyone was like, "This is Jeju Island all over again. We're about to get 2 cities level. Holy cow!" And luckily for our party, we had Jin-Woo just sitting there waiting in the wings. So Kargalgan was impressive. He just ran into the wrong guy on the wrong day. I'll let you take it away from there.
Uh, he really did. So Jin-Woo is cocky as all get out. Like he ain't sweating this dude at all. He just looked at him like, "Yeah, I see what you're about. I ain't worried about it." Monarch's domain took these guys from blue to purple and straight up was like, "We've got to put in that work." So with a significantly smaller army that he could resummon at his will, so that he went in and started going to town on these orcs, and it was about his soldiers were about B rank,
Yeah, he's
like
losing
his
about 4 or 5 soldiers per one high orc.
per one high orc. So they're doing their thing, do whatever they gotta do, take care. We know Egress and Iron, freaking, they're up there, freaking, they're A tier and above, freaking, at least freaking as far as a little high A tier, like they're going to work. Just the fact is that Iron shouted and took out a few of them, and Iron he put his sword. I said, was it
His
Iron just sat there
axe.
and put his no, he put his axe straight through that first dude that ran at him, like it was no question. Egress over here sat there and held his sword and like barely flinched and took out like everybody that surrounded him in one shot. Like they were not playing about this. Like they came for them and like we gonna let you know what's up. So I mean, it was great. And even when the team decided to get into the mix, like, oh yo, he's doing all this work, is wild, so that like we could help. As soon as they went to step in and help, immediately they were hit with something because this dude was dropping, song after song. This dude dropped an entire concert without thinking twice about it. And the strike team, they were affected by the curse, the poison, whatever. You seen one of them kind of throw up a little bit. One of them got freaking immediately blinded, like. And all this stuff was being thrown at Jin-Woo, and they were just catching residuals. They were catching strays. Like this stuff wasn't even aimed at them. They weren't even a factor. And the fact is that all the stuff he aimed at Jin-Woo, he's like, yeah, I got all types of resistances, so I ain't sweating this. And even when he dropped freaking song after song that made him freaking bigger, stronger, fire out out the wazoo, everything was coming at it. Jin-Woo's still like, yeah, nah, mage hand, wrap him up, and still drop this dude without thinking twice about it. But the thing that got me the most was that his orders in his head since he awoke in this place, and he said, since he awoke in this place, was to hunt all the humans.
The same orders that the snow elf had. So whoever is moving these pieces into place is up there if they're ordering around people like Kargalgan and the snow elf whose name I've already forgotten.
Barca.
Yeah.
So, with this being said, and he said he was glitching out, which just lets me know again, him and freaking Barca, like again, they're part of the system, some type of way. So whether they're an opposing part of the system or a separate system or whatever, I'm not sure. They're in there, but obviously they're glitching out because again, they're failing whatever it is, like when they take their mortal blows and whatever's kind of coming in, so that they start to glitch up, they start to fail. So whether they're either actual other type players or they're just systems and processes that are put in like computer programs, because again it's a game, then they're glitching out, they're getting ready to be destroyed, and then everything kind of moves on. But the way that Jin-Woo takes other people and he absorbs their shadow and recreates them for himself. So that I'm not sure if the system may be doing something similar, if it takes hunters or whatever that have fallen in battle or whatever the case may be, and is it like repurposing them for this kind of thing. Again, this is speculation on my part. I have no idea how this works 'cause I haven't read any of this stuff. But again, these are just guesses. But either way, Cha is still trying to figure out everything that's going on, and she was so desperate to find what's going on. She ran in with just a pickaxe, and by the time she got there, as well as the guild kind of representative people, so that everybody got in there, all they can do was just witness Jinwoo's awesomeness as he's freaking taking down everyone, just rocket bodies. But again, he wasn't paying close enough attention to what was going on in terms of them, and they saw him doing some extraction and stuff like that. So now they're learning more about his abilities and what he can do, which can pose, good for some people, bad for other people. It just depends on how you look at it.
Because
And the
there's
fact
S
is
ranks
that
out there that want him down, and they want him
yeah,
down badly. And now that there's leaked information that they can start building their strategy guide with, it's going to start narrowing down his weaknesses, and they're going to be able to go on in because he definitely got carried away because he was not paying attention to nobody. He didn't sense two S ranks walk in, like Wu, nope. Cha, nope. And then we don't know what the other two guys were who assist Wu in the job, what their strength was. So the minute he resurrected his elite knight, renamed Kargalgan, whose name he didn't even remember, even though Kargalgan is doing his evil villain monologue where he has to recite his name a couple times. He's like, who, who did I just end again? What am I
that
doing with
man is
this?
Tusk now. That man
Your
is
name is
Tusk.
Tusk. And is like,
So
great. But again, like as like they finish that up, we have the moment for me where it solidified Captain Ki-hoon as that guy. He literally, as he is being carried off by his people, is like, hey, hold up, Jin-Woo. I know you're not supposed to be here. I'm assuming you had your reasons for keeping things low key, which I'd be a little mad about. But he was a better man than I was, and was like, look, thank you. You saved everyone's life. We appreciate you. And Jin-Woo was just like, I am not I'm not used to this limelight. I'm not used to what's going on. This is a little bit weird. And once again, we have Jin-Woo radiating aura of the highest order because Cha went from "Who is this man?" to "Do you think he noticed me?" in a matter of a
Who is
walk
this
by.
man?
He's like, "Do you think I was cute? Was my outfit weird? Is the pickaxe bizarre? Like what's happening here?" She was all kinds of flustered, and then we
Yes.
see the entrance of the well, not the re-entrance, is the re-entertainment of that head of the guild who's like, "Hey, uh, Kihoon, is Jin-Woo stronger than I am?" And then he was wise and was like, redeflected, "Do you think you could have soloed a high A rank dungeon by yourself?" And he's like, "Nope. And I'm called the ultimate weapon." So that should probably give us a good idea about where Jin-Woo is. Do you want to talk about our mystery entrant? Because I don't know who was sitting in that limo, but they look like they're ready to cause some mischief. They got that look about them.
Yeah, Mission's ready because I got to look at the document that was thrown down, and it's about Plan A, and it's about Lee Min Sung. And I was like, okay, Lee Min Sung, who is this, whatever. But this is the man who has it all. He has even acquired powers that transcend the human condition. So something big is coming. And if this was just a more or less halfway point episode, so with this kind of actions for that, I'm expecting the end episode to be really good. And from some of the leaked things that I've seen, the last episode will actually be the last two episodes shown in a special time slot, together. So we'll see if we get that kind of big kind of movie kind of freaking, exposition, like this big final fight, stuff's going down or whatever. No commercials, no filter. Let's just run it. So I'm excited to see it. We got to find out who these mystery people are and what else, Jim was going to get into because he's still got to finish off that elixir of life kind of thing, and he's still got more pieces to get. So he's got to get these people out of his way so he can proceed on. And again, you still got, his father running around doing stuff as well, and like the other people that are still ready to come after him. So
Everything's absolutely as crazy as it's gonna be. He just got his highest ranked member. He just got his highest ranked girl after him, so to speak, because his girl number and list is joining, even though he's entirely oblivious. Everything goes over his head. He's paying zero attention to his dating life as he is out here soloing dungeons. But what you should be doing is hitting that lovely subscribe button. It's free, greatly helps us out, and you'll be able to see all of our reactions as I continue to lose my mind each and every episode that's dropping in solo leveling. If you're trying to introduce someone to an anime, look, sit them down, start them with season one, episode one, so they can kind of just see things, and then get them all the way up to this point. They will not be disappointed. Jinwoo's army is growing, as is our subscriber count, thanks to you. Any final thoughts, Will?
I need more. That's it. I'm patiently waiting for next week.
I am impatiently waiting for next week. With that in mind, we'll see you in the next one.